is a fossil? And I'm going to write it on the board. And you guys are just going to give me some ideas, and we are going to put them around the bubble. And then throughout the lesson, we are going to talk about these different things that you come up with. Jacob, can you tell me anything you know about fossils?
Fossil is like a piece of bone that's been like from something died long, long ago.
Okay, so I'm just going to put remains of a living thing. And you think it's from long ago?
No.
I'm just going to put that. We're just brainstorming ideas. And then we'll talk about them from long ago. Who else has an idea? Tyler?
It's like a dinosaur.
Marissa, you think a dinosaur could maybe create a fossil? Dinosaur. Kara?
It's the bones.
Bones of living things. Okay, kind of what Jacob was saying. Let's do 3 more. Jamel?
It's not like a print of something that what's moving out.
Okay, so maybe a fossil could be a plant. Adija?
Fossils, there aren't just like bones, they can be like footprints.
Okay, nice. Maybe footprints. And let's do 1 more. Charlie. Dino poo. Think of a different thing about a fossil.
Dino eggs.
Okay, we can talk about that too. Okay, so you guys came up with all of these different things about a fossil, and throughout the lesson we're going to talk about it. So the first thing we're going to do is I have a bag of fossils for you guys to actually look at. And they are animals and plants and all different types of things. Maybe things from the ocean. They're all different types of things. But for you guys, in order to look at these, you have to be very, very careful because they are fragile. So you guys can pick it up and you can look at it and you can touch all the edges and things like that. But I don't want to see any of the fossils fall on the ground or throw them across the room. Or say, hey, Liam, this is really cool. Do you want to see it? And toss it to him. I don't want to see any of that. And how it's going to work is I have 13 fossils in my bag. And there are 24 of you guys, right? So each pair, so for example, Idasia and Sydney are going to get 1 fossil. And each pair are going to get a fossil on their desk. And how this is going to work is you guys are going to be able to see different fossils. But you're going to have about 20 seconds to see them, and then I'm going to have you rotate. And how you're going to rotate is, for example, if Hallie is there right here, and they're looking at a fossil, and I say, okay, time's up. You guys are going to rotate to another desk. These 2 are going to come back here, where Jamel and Shakaya are staying. And then Jamel and Shakaya are going to go back there. And then Lily and Avi, you're going to go back there. And the people in the back row, so Isabella and Charlie and Karen and Tayshawn, you guys can come all the way up here. So there are 4 different fossils in your row, and you guys are going to be able to see all of them. So when I say you guys are going to rotate, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be going back, and then the back's going to come up to the front. Okay? So I'm going to give each pair a different fossil. And you can just look at it right now and I'll tell you when to take it out of the bag. Or you can go ahead and take it out of the bag right now.
Okay, so when the back rolls get all in the bag, they come up to the front.
Yes, you guys will move up to the front. 1 row. Yes. Okay, you guys can take the fossil out of the bag. And there's also also a little card in there that tells you what the fossil is. And you guys can read over it. Yeah, it's all different kinds of things. So I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to look at each fossil, and then we're going to rotate. You don't need anything. Do you have fossils? Oh, here, I'll give you guys this one. So you put that one. Okay, we're gonna make our first rotation. So I got you guys just to stand up from your chair, and you guys are going to move in the way that I asked you. I know you can do it really well. Okay, ready? Go to the next table. You guys go back here. You guys know how to move? And this part is about you guys to take here. Pull up at it.
There's nothing back here.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Fossil doesn't move. They're trying to move their fossil. Fossil doesn't move. Only the people move.
Only the people move, guys. So you keep the fossil on the desk. Keep the fossil on the desk. You guys move up here.
That's where we sit.
Move to the front then.
Kai and Jamela sit there.
Okay,
No, they're supposed to be right here.
Allie, can you guys move back here?
They're supposed to be
Okay,
right
Lily, it's fine. This is fine. It's sharp on the edge. I hope you guys can see it. No, they're real. This one is. Maybe they're. So sometimes Okay, we are going to rotate again. No, I think it's just kind of a part of a turtle. So see if you can find something that looks like a turtle in there. Yes. Back there. Have you been here yet? Okay, here I have an extra fossil. So look at that. You guys can move that one. Sure, you looked at it? Oh, look at it. Read that part, because that's what it is.
We found something.
Wow. That's cool.
This is not
Okay, we should have one more rotation, right? Yeah. Make one more rotation. Yeah. on? Okay, good job. That was a really good job rotating. Now I want you to go back to your original seats. Where are you guys sitting?
Isabella, she means basketball.
Okay, give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready. Thumbs up if you're ready. Is everyone ready? Okay, the next little thing I want you guys to do very quietly is to get out a piece of paper and a pencil. Because we're going to do some writing later on. But just for now, I would like to get you out a piece of paper and pencil.
I'll give you a piece of paper. Ow!
Okay, give me a thumbs
I
up.
have no idea.
Give me a thumbs up when you have your paper and pencil out on your desk so I know who's ready. You guys can leave the fossil on the corner of your desk. Okay, the first thing we're going to go over are there are different types of different ways fossils are formed. And so one of the ways is called a mold. When you guys hear the word mold, what do you think about? And it's not going to be the type of mold that you might see growing in a warm habitat. Charlie?
I think of kind of like an airport or some or a mold might be used with like, so I think about it both ways.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, what a mold is, when I think about it, is, have you guys ever made cookies and used a cookie cutter? Okay, before you put the cookie cutter down into the cookie dough, the little plastic thing, that is like a mold. So a fossil can be a mold where it's just like what Charlie was saying, kind of like an imprint with nothing inside of it. So I'm just going to draw an example. So there's nothing inside of this mold. It's just like a cookie cutter. And there's another thing that is called a cast. And what do you guys think a cast of a fossil might be? Tyler?
Like something outside or inside of it.
Yes, something inside of it that makes up the fossil. So here's our mold. And usually what do you think's inside that makes up a fossil? What do you think could go into that mold? Tyler, what do you think can go into the mold? Not really. Where do you find fossils at? Avi?
Places where stuff has died.
Yes, but what about where do scientists dig up the fossils? Yes, in the ground. So the mold, and then the mold is like our cookie cutter, and then the cast is just the parts of the ground that come in. So maybe the sediments and the dirt, and they go inside of the mold. So your fossil can either be just a mold, so just like the outline of it, or it can be a cast where it's filled in. Okay, so what I want you guys to do when I get the little experiment set up is I want you to write on your piece of paper the best prediction. Do you guys know what a prediction is?
Yeah. It's kind of like
Yes. Kind of like a guess
It's like
about how a
Estimate.
fossil is actually formed. And if you know the answer, I want you to keep it a secret. But I want you to write on your paper how a fossil is formed, how you think a fossil is formed. Take a few seconds to write about that, and then we're going to get started with something else. words will be perfect. When you have your prediction, put your thumb up so I know you're ready to move on. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 10 more seconds to finish up your prediction. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on. It's okay if you don't finish your prediction. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a small activity with our fossils, but I have different types of fossils or things for you to use to create your own fossil. So what I brought in for you guys is some clay, and I brought in some bones for you guys to look at. I'm not going to tell you what type of bones it is until the end, but do you guys think, what kind of bone do you think I brought in for you guys? Tyler?
Dinosaur bone?
What kind of bone?
Dinosaur bone.
Dinosaur bones? Liam, what do you think?
A doggy bone?
Doggy bone? Peyton, what do you think?
Shark bone?
Shark bone? Maybe. We'll see at the end. Okay, so what you guys are going to be doing is you're each going to get a bag that has a bone and some clay in it. And you guys are going to be creating your own fossil by taking your bone, and I'm going to show it right now. This is one of our fossils that we just looked at. But you're going to take your fossil and you're going to press it into the clay far enough where you have a little imprint, or you're going to make your own little fossil. And we just talked about a mold and a cast. So when I put my bone inside of the clay, what am I making? Is it a mold or a cast? Raise your hand, give me a thumbs up what you think. Isabella? It's the mold. And why is it the mold?
Because you're making the shape.
Yes, you're making the shape of it. We are also going to pretend that your clay is the ground, because the dirt. Because we get the fossils from the ground and they come out in the dirt, right? When they first dig them up, they get them out of the dirt. So you guys will have a better fossil than me, and because this one's just kind of round and doesn't have a very good shape to it. But you see how I pressed it really far in to create like we have a fossil, right? And you guys can see with your own bone and your own clay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pass you guys out a bag that has clay in it. And please, before I pass this out, please do not open your bag until I ask you to do it. Because we all want to be at the same pace when we are looking at it. And you guys all have different bones in your bag. Some are big, some are small, some are the spine.
Some on the middle one in the world.
Yes. They're just all different types of bones.
I think there's like a leg.
And when you guys get your bone, feel free to look at it with your partner and talk a little bit about it. Yeah. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you want to know what's going to happen next. Okay, good job. Good listening. So what's going to happen next is you guys have a piece of paper out in front of you. And after you guys look at your fossil and create your little fossil, I want you to create a story. So I want you to come up I want you to come up with your own story about the fossil. How old is it? Where did it come from? And I'm going to write 3 questions on the board that I want you guys to answer on your piece of paper and write about it. So at the top of your paper, either you can flip it to the back or you can just draw a line and write under it. I want you to title it My Fossil. And when you guys are working creating your own fossil, I'll write the questions on the board for you to answer in your story. So right now you guys can all get out your clay and your bone and you can start to make your own fossil. It might smell a Okay, if you want to, since your bone is bigger, you can stretch your clay.
That's what I'm doing.
Some of your bones are really big or really thick, and you can stretch your clay out to make your bone fit. You do? Well, keep going. We'll talk about it in a second. Keep spreading out. If you want more clay, I have clay.
We wrap our
As best as you want. So
yeah, I'm going
if you get it better and friend because of that, then you get it if you want. Nice. Yeah, you can try that.
That's why you should wrap it. Yeah, I just wrap it.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you're going to destroy yourself.
I'm not going to tell you. Wow.
I know mine is good.
Good, we'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep it.
I got barbecue. I got chicken strips. I got both of them. We get to keep both of them. It's gonna be inside.
I'll try.
My hands are so What's the big deal about the cake? Oh, yeah. You could have gotten more clay. I didn't want clay. My bones I put 2 bones.
Okay, I'm going to pause you guys for 5 seconds. So put your thumbs up so I know you're listening to me. And remember, we talked about active listening, right? So when someone asks you to listen, you guys drop what you're doing and eyes on me. Okay, so after you guys make your little fossils with your bone, I want you to write about my fossil. So how old is your fossil, do you think? What does it look like and where did it come from? I want you to create your own story. So there are no definite answers. You can create it as old as you want, as young as you want, whatever you would like. Okay, you guys can keep going with your bones. No, you can just write it.
I could just keep it in here.
You can keep it in there.
Okay,
Now you guys make your fossils.
Oh, we can just keep it inside.
If you want, you can, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'll collect them.
Yeah, later. Trying to play with the clay. Yeah, but I made it one day. Hey, look, I made the keto. That was yours. Okay.
Yes, I will collect
I made a keto.
Thank you.
There you go.
You can keep the boat. Okay, so you guys remember, if you finish with your fossil, tell me a little story about it.
It was trapped inside this little clay curve.
Oh, that's okay. That looks really awesome. Mom looks like a blue did. Put the whole, don't press it down. Well, that's okay if it goes down.
Good. My fossil. You might want to leave it around or else it'll have like I'm bigger than yours.
Good job, guys. You tell us about your fossil.
I'm trying to what does it look like?
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys about 5 more minutes to tell me about your fossil before we will share. No, you don't have to share. That's okay.
I do. How do you like this one?
Hey!
Do you like
Nice. Okay, where are you going?
Do you like mine?
Yes, I love it.
It looks We're gonna pick
How old is it? 9?
I said 9.
Wow.
I said 9.
Wow.
Some fossils are found at the bar. It's all look.
That does look like
Look
a
my head.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
fossils are. Yeah, because animals get stuck in the bar and then they eat it.
Okay, keep going.
Wow.
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 That's old. Good job. Alright, you guys write about your story. A story about it. How are you guys doing? Writing your story?
We're not playing with it. Then I said, I know that I should change it. I know what it is. This is how
Alright, Zeke, you gotta either put this in here or you're going to do more. You can share it in a second, I promise. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you guys are done with your story or if you need 1 more minute.
I need one more minute.
Okay, I'm going to give you 1 more minute, so until 11:04.
I gotta take my, it looks like a
Put it in there.
This is good. Have you done this before? Oh, you got my mark. That's my mark. What is that?
Good.
This palette. Every time I put this in here, it gets cold.
Oh, that's alright.
Oh, my
Okay, we are going to move on. Everyone, eyes on me with your thumbs up if you're ready to move on. And I promise you, you can keep the clay and the bone. So, I want you to keep it on the right-hand corner of your desk. And it's going to stay there, I promise. So don't worry about touching it. It won't move, it won't fall on the ground. Okay, so before we started looking at creating our own fossil, I asked you guys to make a prediction or a guess about how a fossil is created. Who wants to share with us their prediction? Liam? How do you think a fossil is actually created? That's a good prediction. Dylan, how do you give us yours?
Fossils are made when an animal dies and decays.
It decays. Okay, Tyler, one more.
It dies people dig up the fossil in the ground.
Okay, they find it in the ground. Okay, those are all good predictions. So what I want you guys to do right now is put your hands in your lap, and I'm going to read you guys something. But you guys have to be active listening and have your eyes on me and your listening ears on to listen. Okay, so I did a little bit of research to actually find out good things about how a fossil is formed, and I found something really interesting that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm going to read to you how a fossil is formed. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Some animals quickly buried by death, by sinking in the mud, being buried in the sandstorm. Oh, let me start again. Some animals quickly buried by death. Parts that didn't rot or break down were encased in the sediment. So that animal, all the sediment from the ground came on top of it. Parts of animals turn into fossils over time. Chemicals in the body went through changes, and as the bone began to break down, water with minerals came into the bone and replaced bones with rock-like material. In the end, we have a rock-like copy of the original, a fossil. So all of you guys are right. The animal died, and it stayed on the ground, and all of the sediments, the minerals and nutrients in the ground came on top of that animal and pushed it deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground and created a fossil. But it didn't happen just overnight. It happened over a very long period of time, right? What did we learn about yesterday, how we can tell how old an animal, a fossil is? Jamal?
Right. You could look at the fossil and see
Do you look at the fossil or do you look at something else before?
look at something else.
What do you look at? What do the scientists do before they actually look at the fossil? How can they tell that how old it is? Maybe they do research. Does anyone else have an idea? We talked about this yesterday. Hey, Sean?
Scientists think it's older than deeper in the surface.
Exactly. If the fossil is very young, it's going to be on top of the surface. And if the fossil is very old, it's going to be deeper and deeper in the ground. So what do you guys think the dinosaur bones are? Where do you think they are in the ground, Tyler? Do you think they're by the surface, or do you think they're deep in the
By the
ground?
surface.
By the surface? Jamal, what do you think?
I think they're deep down. They was extinct about
Yes, they're deep down. They're really far down because they're really old. So some of the fossils that you guys looked at too, were they just animals? No, what else did you see?
Plants.
Plants and maybe some shells. Did you guys see anything else interesting?
Wood.
You saw some woods, maybe from the trees? Yeah. So this also tells us that a fossil isn't just an animal. It's also a plant, and from the shells you guys learned about, maybe some animals washed up on the shore and that's how they found their fossils. But it's not just the animals. But do you think that the plant fossils happen as frequently as an animal fossil? Do you think they find more plant fossils or more animal fossils?
More
animals. Both? Well, they find both for sure, but they find more animal fossils. Because sometimes if an animal dies, they might stay in that spot, but things in their bones could be moved around and scattered around the different grounds. So they might find a bone here or a fossil here from that animal, and they could find a fossil over in the next woods from that animal. There's all different sorts of animal fossils that they can find. And there are plant fossils as well. Okay, I want to hear a little bit about your own fossils though, so who would like to share about their fossil? Liam?
My fossil is 10,000 years old. It looks like a pterodactyl bone. It came from a grassland.
Oh, nice. So did you have a type of dinosaur bone? Pterodactyl? Yeah, that's interesting. Say, how about you? Do you want to share?
My fossil is a chicken. It is young. It is a bone. It is slippery. My fossil is 10 weeks old.
I like how you said it was slippery, but where did it come from? Did you have a spot where it came from?
It came from the ocean.
From the ocean. Glenna, do you want to tell me about your fossil?
My fossil is 12 years old. It looks like an axe, and it's from Greece. My fossil is a chicken.
Is it chicken? So a lot of fossils are chickens. Avi, one more.
My fossil is a pterodactyl. It looks like 50 years old. It is from Hawaii and died on the
Nice, from Hawaii. Okay, so when you guys were creating your own fossils and writing about it, what were you guys? Do you know?
scientists.
Yes, you're scientists. And do you think scientists today do this? What you guys are doing? Yeah, they go and they dig up the ground to see if they can find more fossils, but they don't just look at a fossil and say, oh, that's enough looking, I'm just going to put that to the side. They actually take notes, and depending on where they found it, so if they found it towards the surface of the ground or deep down in the ground, then they could tell how old it is, and they could tell where that they found it. Maybe they found it in another country, maybe not in America, they found another country. But an interesting fact about fossils is that fossils have been found all over North America. So they have been found in all places. So do you guys think maybe they were found here in Virginia?
No.
No? If they've been found everywhere in North America? Yes, they were. So you guys today were scientists, and you guys created your own fossils and took notes and told me about the stories of your fossils. So did you have fun? Yes. So I want you guys to put your fossils and the bones back into the bags, and you can take them home with you. But before you guys go to lab or do the next thing, you guys need to put the bones and the clay away so you don't play with them for the rest of the day. Does that sound good? You promise that you can do that for me? Just put it in the bag and put it away. Good. So I hope you guys had fun being scientists and making